commissioner.
Thank you, Slider. It's my assistant. I know you're probably thinking, why isn't it not the Oriole Bird as my assistant? But, he had the day off. It's an off day for the Orioles. Little 2-game sweeper of the Red Sox. I'm fully believing they're going to make up this 8.5 comeback, 8.5 game deficit of the last wild card. They're going to get hot. They're going to stay hot. They're going to make it happen. I'm going to play my emotions all year, get my hopes up all year, and, better late than never. So watch out for the birds. Boys are flying high. There's going to be 8 teams that are going to be flying high in 3 weeks. The top 8 teams make the playoffs. 3 weeks is the playoffs. I feel like a lot of people, there might be some people that know the playoffs are coming up in 3 weeks. But as for me, it kind of snuck up on me. I got that X beside my name. I'll kind of sit back and I'm chilling, But I don't think I should be chilling. Because the playoffs, despite 4 teams already clinching their spots, it's still not a set bracket yet. So I just want to go over with that, kind of get you guys informed. The race is still very tight for those last 4 spots. And even the top 4 spots, the race is still very close. There's 2 teams tied for first, 2 teams tied for second. They're both, the teams in second are only a game back from the teams in first. So there could be a lot of switcheroos here in the last 3 weeks. Really 2.5 because it's Wednesday now. So, all right. So the playoffs start Monday, September 8th. Top 8 teams make it. I'll throw on the projected bracket right here is what it looks like. So, you win your first matchup, you go to the semifinals. Win that matchup, go to the championship. Each matchup is 1 week long. I know in other fantasy formats you have lesser teams. The playoffs are 2 weeks long. Well, mine is just 1 week. So we could change it to 6 teams next year. I know 8's kind of a lot for a 12-man league. So, but so here, throw on this side this time. Here are the standings. So our team's tied for first. Dylan is first because he scored more points than Tyler. So we got Dylan and Tyler at 14-6, which I guess I should say the team name, Knights of Otani, Carolina Halos. 2 teams tied for second, Wheeling and Dylan, which is Paul. And then Samuel E. Leets, me. Paul has more points than I do, so he's third. I'm fourth. Kind of seeing the pattern there. Al, Merrill Madness, is fifth at 12-8. Here's where it gets a little hairy. Ethan and Zach are both tied 10-10 with 10-10 records. That's the 6th and 7th seed. Quincy and Steven both have a 9-11 record, but Quincy has scored more points than Steven. Therefore, Quincy has the current 8th seed. And he's actually outscored Steven by 405 points. So he's got a nice cushion. If he could just have this, if he could just, outlast Steven record-wise, and unless Steven just puts up like a plethora of points and Quincy goes through a dry spot, and Quincy looks like he does have the 8th seed well. But we have some intriguing matchups these last couple weeks that could do some flip and flopping. So very vital matchups if you want to stay playing through into our October, which is September. Looks like Zach is only a game back from Steven. However, Steven does lead him in points. So if Zach loses and Steven wins, it'll do some little flip and flopping there. As long as Steven still has more points than he does. The person with the most points in the league is Al. So if Al goes on like a little 3-game win streak to end the season and some of the top teams ahead of him lose, Al's going to be climbing. So Merrill Madness is definitely the dark horse, I believe, in our league here. So pretty obvious. It's kind of crazy how he's in 5th and he has the most points scored. I mean, it's like not even close, like the gap. Like the gap is by, he has like nearly like a 500 point gap I don't know how he's 12-8. That's crazy. Um, so it kind of looks like it's set between 9 teams. Our 10th seed, our 10th place team is Belly Bombers, my buddy Andy. He's 7-13. He's not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs yet. So he's praying on some major downfalls and some major upfalls for him. He's hoping to ride the season on a 3-game win streak, scoring big points, and hoping the teams in front of him kind of lose out, and then he somehow makes this miraculous comeback. Calling my Orioles. If that happens, Andy, you're gonna change your team name to the Orioles. You know, for good on them for my boys, which obviously he's a Yankees fan, so I think he wants his Yankees fans to kind of he wants his Yankees team to kind of not let a team like the Orioles sneak in. So, as for Josh and Trey, Josh Shockley unfortunately eliminated from the playoffs. I think last week he was. Trey somehow mathematically not eliminated, but I think ESPN's a little generous saying he has a 1% chance, but we think it's probably like a 0.01%. So hope you guys have a little bit more success in football. So we haven't really discussed a prize for the winner. I know we all donated last year, and we gave out cash prizes last year. But I think I may have spoke about it once, but like very briefly. But don't really have any answers. So I know the season's pretty much over. So I don't know if we'll do a pat on the back, or I don't know if I'll get a trophy from Amazon, engraved name in it. We get all pass around each year. So I don't know if that'll be like the trophy could just be, the prize. I think that'd be cool. I mean, cash is always nice too. So, but it's kind of late in the year to kind of, get it. So I don't know. You guys will have to let me know, and I'll pose the question, or a poll in the chats as well. So let's get to those meaningful matchups. So, this week we currently have the 7 seed Zach's honorable team at 10-10, facing Steven, who's the 9 seed at 9-11. So a huge matchup here. If Steven loses, that's really going to hurt his chances. I don't think I wrote down. Yeah, I meant to, but I made graphics, and it basically has like the 6 seed, the 7 seed, the 8 seed, the 9 seed, all who they're playing the next 3 weeks. And I wish I could talk about it, but oh, I did write it down. I was going to say, to be sure I wrote it down so I could, talk about that. Okay, so we'll get on to that. So the 6 seed, Ethan, he's sitting pretty decent right now because out of all the teams that haven't clinched a playoff spot yet, he has more points scored. And he's a couple games up, on Quincy, or really just 1 game up. So, but he's still sitting decent because he has more points scored. He has a pretty promising schedule ahead of him. So at 10-10, he's currently facing the last place team, Team Shocker. So that should be, as long as he's paying attention to his team, or unless Josh's team has a really good week, should be an easy win for him. And then the next week he faces Steven, who is trying to make a playoff spot, so he's probably going to be pushing. So that might be a little bit of a challenge. But then in the final week, he faces Trey, the 11th place team. So as long as these next 3 matchups, don't have huge weeks, and he kind of pays attention to his team, then I think he should have an easy, glide into the playoffs. We're going to go to Zach's honorable team next. 10-10 record as well. Like I said, currently facing Steven, so huge matchup here. Then he faces Trey next week, so pretty schedule-friendly matchup there. But then he has to face the highest scoring team in Merrill Madness to finish out the season. So this week's a make or break. And then if he beats Trey, then he'll be looking pretty good, I think he may have beaten Merrill Madness too earlier in the season. I'm not sure. I'll have to fact check on that one. So he has a pretty decent schedule as well. As for my buddy QB Quincy Brown, Ellie De La Booze, he is currently facing Paul, who's one of the highest scoring teams in the league, and he's the 3 seed at 13-7. So tough matchup there. And then next week he has to face Tyler, who's the 2nd seed currently at 14-6. So he has some big rocks to climb over. And in his final week, he faces Andy at 7-13, who is the 10 seed. So Quincy has quite the battle in front of him. So I hope you're well equipped, just like the Reds were last year in their Trojan gear. After their home run. Was it last year or 2 years ago? It was something like that. I just remember Jonathan India wearing the Trojan stuff. It looked nice with his hair, you know. And then last but not least, Steven, who's our current 9 seed holder. Like I said, he's playing Zach, who's the 7 seed at 10-10. Vital matchup. Definitely the matchup of the week here. Then he's going to face Ethan, like I said, as well, too. So Ethan 10-10. So he could do some ladder climbing, you know, if he takes Zach and Ethan out. And then he faces Wheel and Deal Paul, and for the final week. So he's got quite the task too. So these 8 and 9 seed teams, El De La Booze and the legendary team. Let's see how legendary your team is, Steven. Got some big mountains to overcome here. So. Well, yeah, I just wanted to make a short, little, quick video. I've been meaning to like kind of make recap videos like on a weekly or monthly basis. I do it for fantasy football. I do like a weekly recap and then a weekly preview for like next week too. I want to kind of like throw that in for baseball as well. But you know, it's hard to manage everything with life, especially the little kiddo running around. He's currently taking a nap, or I hope he's napping. We usually look at him on a camera on our phones, but our Wi-Fi is down. So I'm hoping to upload this. It's Wednesday currently. Hoping to upload this today. Well, no, the Wi-Fi is going to be back. I'll hotspot on my phone. So might be watching this on Thursday or whenever. So, but hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, a lovely weekend, and good luck.